the OG Bloodshot Red coming back with another one. Before we get into this content, let me do this disclaimer. This video is for entertainment purposes only, and I do not condone any criminal activity that's talked about in this video. With that being said, let's get it banging, man. First, man, I gotta give a huge shout out to all my new subscribers, man. I mean, bro, y'all push them numbers, man. Y'all push them numbers for real, man. I truly appreciate it, man. I mean, for real. You know, I had been struggling for a minute about the tap, man. Just like, man, forget this, you know. But man, I really appreciate it, and I do want to give a big shout out to that 16 to life, man. That's a real one right there, man. Hey, man, big ups and big respects, man, because, you know, you did me a real good solid on that one, man. Thanks. So, you know, this one right here, man, this content right here, this video right here, man, as you can tell from the thumbnail, bro, it's a wild one, man. I always tell y'all, man, it's going to be a wild one, you know what I'm saying? But before we get into it, I just want to kind of lay some groundwork. I mean, man, not just people who have done time, but I mean just in general, man, you know, for a man, respect, man, respect is extremely important. Not just to receive respect, but also to show respect to an individual. And it don't cost you nothing, you know. To disrespect someone, blatantly disrespect someone, intentionally disrespect someone, man, it can have some real dire consequences, man. You know, now, maybe not so much in the world, you know, dude might just blow it off and go on about his business, but in prison, man, this stuff is like to the 10th power, man. Respect, you know, disrespecting somebody, man, this shit go to the 10th power, you know. So it's very important, man. And this video right here has a lot to do with about respect and disrespect, man, you know. So let me get into this content. So man, this is on Conley unit. I was on medium custody, and you know, we get like about 4 hours out a day on medium custody, you know. Rest of the time, I mean, you get 4 hours out and you get 2 hours on the yard, right? You know, you got TV time and stuff like that. So we get to congregate in the day room a little bit. So it was this guy, big dude too, man. This dude was a big old dude named Cloverland. Now, Cloverland is an area in Houston, right? So a lot of the guys, you know, they name themselves after their neighborhood, like, you know, South Parks and, you know, Hiram Clarks and things like that. So his name was Cloverland. And this dude was probably about 6'4", 6'5". You know, he wasn't just no muscular dude, but he was a solid built dude, man. But he was a gentle giant, bro. I mean, this dude was cool, always had everybody laughing, you know, man, loved to gamble. You know, he was just well liked by pretty much everybody, you know. He was always, you know, had a smile on his face. So this particular day, I think we might have been in the day room playing some dominoes or something, I can't remember. But they came over the intercom and called his cell number. And so what they were doing was looking for his celly. And celly was inside the cell. So, you know, they told him, you know, pack it up. He was moving. So, man, I mean, just right off the rip, you know, Cloverland kind of getting his feelings. You know, he's like, man, you know, why they moving my celly? Man, why they moving my celly, man? Damn, man, I gotta go talk to somebody, man. I gotta go talk to somebody. He said, man, I don't want no new celly, man. Now, the thing about that, let me kind of break that down too. The thing about that, man, is you spend more time in the cell than you do outside the cell, especially on medium custody and closed custody. And you housed with another individual. And so I've said this in other videos, and I'm gonna reiterate it. When you have a celly, man, that you cool with, that you vibe with, that you respect, and that respects you, and you've been around each other for, you know, some years, man, I mean, this is actually somebody you gotta lay down and close your eyes around. So you need that comfort zone. I mean, you're not gonna totally trust anybody, but I'm just saying, just the familiarity with that person. You know, it kind of gives you a sense of security, you know, and it's, you know, where you can just kind of, you know, chill a little bit. So when that's disrupted and they telling, you know, you mean your celly moving or you moving, now here's this whole new just anxiety setting in because you don't know what you walking into if you the one getting moved, and you don't know what's walking into you on the person that's getting moved in your cell if you're not the one getting moved. So it's just a huge uncomfortable situation, you know. And that's what, you know, Cloverland was going through. He was like, man, and Cloverland was an adamant individual that was against masturbation in public. He did not go for that. So that was what his biggest issue was like, you know, man, I hope they don't put nobody in my cell, man, be standing at that door jacking off, man, I ain't trying to go through that shit, man, I ain't trying to, man, you know, the cell cut in half for the sheet he got hanging up, and I gotta ask, can I go use the restroom? And I mean, I'm just not, man, I'm not trying to go through that, man. I'm not trying to go through, I gotta go talk to somebody, right? So, you know, I'm telling him like, you know, man, I dig all of that. But I mean, the thing is, on medium custody, they don't really even put that many women over there, you know. I mean, you might get one like on third shift, you know, right before, you know, shift change, or, you know, one might come over there and break for an officer. I mean, but for the most part, just because of the security level, it's mostly dudes over there, you know, as far as COs. But man, he not trying to hear it. He like, nah, man, they be putting them over here sometimes, man. They be putting them over here sometimes. So anyway, man, this Sally pack up and he leave, right? So now, this is another thing about them making, you know, putting people in the cell with people. They have an age criteria. They have a size criteria as far as weight and whatnot. Race don't mean shit. You know, they don't mean nothing. They ain't even worried about no race. They worried about age and weight and stuff in case, you know, you got to defend yourself. They don't want to put no little dude in there with no big dude and things like that, right? So by him being a big dude, he already know, you know, he gonna get a pretty big celly or whatever, you know. But now that first day they moved him, nobody moved in the cell. So he had that night by himself, right? So he come out, you know, he was a little bit more kind of relaxed a little bit, but you could still kind of, you know, every time that section door, you know, he looking to see if somebody coming in with some property and stuff, right? So we out there, you know, we out there just kicking it, watching TV or whatever, man. And so sure enough, probably sometime after lunch, man, they bring in this cart, got all this property on it, you know, and it's a black dude. Everybody know this black dude, man. Black dude named BT. That's his initials, BT. And so when Cloverland seen him, man, Cloverland was just like, mother up, man. Damn. Man, I told y'all, man, I knew it. Now the thing about BT, man, this fool is a jack monster. Man, this fool is this dude is a jack monster, and everybody know he a jack monster. And the whole reason why he coming to medium custody right now, excuse me, is because he was on minimum custody and caught a jack case, and they dropped his security level to medium custody. So he one of the ones that's really in the game, you know. And he really not no pushover type dude to where, you know, you just gonna lay the law down to him. I mean, you know, he doing time, you know, since back in the 80s and shit, you know. So, you ain't finna run him, you know, and Cloverland you ain't about to run Cloverland. So I'm anticipating at this particular time that it's gonna be some friction, man. It's gonna be some issues. So I'm kind of sympathetic with Cloverland now, you know, because he like, damn, man, why they put him in here, man? You know, and so I'm still telling him like, well, man, you know, it ain't a lot of women come over here, man. So, you know, you always out the cell, man. You know, just sit down and talk to that fool and let him know, man, if you ain't in the cell, he can do what he want to. But if you in the cell, man, out of respect, you know, man, you don't want that happening up in there. He like, man, I'm gonna talk to this dude, man, but I already know it ain't gonna be no understanding. You know, he just frustrated, man. He tense. I mean, he just, man, he on edge, right? So that night, you know, everything was cool. You know, I stayed on the third row, and he stayed on the first floor, right? So, you know, and we ain't hear no noise, and everything was pretty cool. You know, wasn't no women coming through anyway, so, you know, it wasn't gonna be no issues anyway. So, man, we come out to the day room, you know, and we all kicking it, you know. Cloverland, you know, he kind of relaxed a little bit. I'm like, man, you talk to him? He like, yeah, man, I talked to him, man. I just told him, man, you know, man, if I ain't in the cell, man, you do what you want to, as long as you take your own case. This is another thing I got to explain to y'all. You know, a lot of times, like, if you got the same race in the cell with you, you know, 2 blacks, 2 Hispanics, or 2 whites, or whatever, and, you know, it's a dude in the door, and he masturbating, and she look on the roster, and they see it's 2 black people, top bunk and bottom bunk. Man, a lot of times they'll just write both people up and let you just try to fight your case in kangaroo court, you know, coming down out that picket, walking up to the door, asking you what bunk you in and all that. A lot of times, man, they won't even do that. You know, it's a black dude and it's 2 black dudes in there, so I'm writing both of them up. And then that causes a big friction between cellies now, you know, because they come up to a substitute counsel, run up to the door and say, man, both of y'all got a case for masturbation. You like, man, I ain't did. Man, you got me messed up or whatever, you know, and then there it is, because your celly caught a case and got you a case. So I just wanted to point that out, you know. So they came out that day, man, everything was pretty cool, you know. He was just like, man, I just know, man, this dude be tripping. I know it's gonna be some problems, man. Man, as soon as they put a woman over here, watch, man, them fool, you know, right now everything cool, we chilling, you know, and all that. But as soon as they put a woman over, it's gonna be some problems. So about 2 days after that, they come through and call out breakfast, right? So they do 3 calls. You know, there'll be first call for breakfast, prepare for breakfast. They're gonna come around again about 5-10 minutes later. Second call for breakfast. All right, boom. Then that third one, they're going to drop 3 row. Then they're going to drop 2 row. And then they're going to drop 1 row. So we get up. Me and my celly get up. So I hear a bunch of noise downstairs, arguing and stuff. You know, bitch ass nigga this, bitch ass nigga, man, I told you, blah, 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 this and that, right? So they, you know, arguing or whatever. So bam, we come downstairs. We in the day room and stuff, you know. So they finally drop 1 row. And we walk into breakfast. And I'm asking Clover, I'm like, man, what y'all tripping on? Because it wasn't even a woman in the picket, you know. I'm like, man, what y'all tripping on? He's like, nah, man, this nigga, man, he got the sheet up and camped out on the other side by the door all night, man. I can't sleep, you know, and just, it's just crazy, man. I ain't trying to live like this, man. He just stalking the door, man. Ain't no woman even over here. And he just in the door. He just going off, man. He just is not feeling that, man. And especially after having the type of celly that, you know, he had that was, you know, respectful and stuff, it just make you all the way uncomfortable, man. Even though he ain't in the door jacking, it just make you feel uncomfortable because all this changing and shit that's going on in your cell, right? So I'm just like, well, man, you know, nigga wasn't jacking out, man. You know, you can't really just say nothing about the fool standing in the door, man. That's his cell too. He's like, man, you know, it's time to go to sleep, man. It's 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. This nigga standing in the door, man, you know. So he just frustrated, man, just all the way around frustrated. So a couple of days go by, man. And so anytime a woman does, because you got some dudes, bro, that's going to stalk that door. You got some dudes that's just going to be stuck in that door like this here all night, just stalking. And when they see a woman coming in for a break, or they see a woman coming around on the floor for count, they going to let everybody know. They're going to be like, uh-oh, soft tail. Uh-oh, we got one, a soft tail. And all of them jack monsters going to get up, right? And they going, if she in the picket, they going to take care of their business from there. Or if she coming around on the floor when she passed by their cell, you know, they're going to jam her up or whatever, right? It's just, you know, these fools just, it's just how they do, man. So this particular night, a woman I'm asleep. All this I was pretty much found out after the fact though, but a woman that came through. And, you know, everybody done jumped up in the door and they doing whatever it is they do, you know, taking care of their business or whatever. So when I do finally get up, I hear Cloverland and BT downstairs going at it. Man, they squabbling, just boom, 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 boom. Shit breaking and falling. And I'm like, man, what the fuck going on? So the lady not in the picket no more. She just came in to do the break and then, you know, left or whatever. So I'm like, man, what they fighting for? And dude's like, man, they had a woman over here. You already know BT. BT ain't trying to hear that shit. BT was up in there. BT was up in there live at 5. Nigga, he ain't trying to hear that shit. Them niggas down there squabbling hard, man. Them niggas been fighting like damn it 5-10 minutes now, man. I'm like, for real? Like, yeah, man, them niggas going hard. So they come around they call first drop for chow. First call for chow, prepare for chow. So bam, man, I'm getting ready, man. I'm getting ready because everybody want to see what's going on, man. So bam, I'm at the door. I'm at the door like a racehorse. I'm ready to go down there and see what the hell going on, right? So bam, they call second call, man, but they still downstairs. You can still hear them rumbling and stuff, right? But I hear BT telling, nah, man, what you doing, man? What you doing? Nah, man, what you doing? Come on, man, I'm sorry, right? So I'm like, man, what they got going on? So they call the last call for chow, man. Everybody on 3 were making a beeline downstairs, right? Boom. So we get downstairs, they drop 2 rows. So we don't run up to the cell door because we don't want to draw no attention to the picket, right? So we all just standing out in the day room like, and man, they up in there tussling. They got a towel over the door, right? They up there tussling, man. So finally they drop 1 row. Man, this nigga, Cloverland, drugged this fool BT out this cell. He had BT hands tied behind his back and had his feet folded up behind him and had his feet tied to his hands. And he drug him out in the day room, BT crying like a baby. I mean, this is a big old dude, man. This BT, a convict type dude. He's kind of big dude, he had some age on him, but he big solid dude, crying like a baby, man. Cloverland run back in the cell real quick and come back out, and the fool got a extension cord that he had cut off of, I don't know, one of his appliances. Man, he say, man, he's standing over with the extension cord. He said, man, I told you, man, I asked you, BT, man, don't be doing that. I asked you, BT, man, you just gonna disrespect me, man. And man, he hit this fool with the extension cord. Pow! Man, I ain't gonna lie. It ain't fun. It wasn't funny then, but it's kind of funny. Man, that nigga screamed like Little Richard, man, when he hit him. Man, that nigga screamed so motherfucking loud, man. He said, man, I told you, man. I told you. You standing in the door, playing with yourself, man. I told you I don't live like that, BT. I told you, I asked you, man. He hit that fool again. Pow! So now everybody like, man, come on, Cloverland, man. You tripping, man. Chill out. He said, no, man. I talked to him. He told me he wasn't going to do it. He did it. This what he going to get, man. He hit that fool again. Pow! So now the officer in the picket, I mean, they seeing what's going on, so they done called a response, right? So by the time he ain't hit him no more, but by the time, but he talking to him, he throwing his stuff out the cell and everything. He going there getting all BT property, throwing his stuff out the cell and everything. So the officers come in. Man, it's like about 8 officers. Man, it's early in the morning. Man, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning or something, man. And they come in there seeing this grown man, BT, butt ass naked, tied up on the floor, crying. I mean, this dude was crying like a baby, man. And so I was like, man, what the hell going on? So initially they thought Cloverland had, raped him, right? But they found out that it wasn't it or whatever, right? So they told Cloverland, they say, man, get on your knees. So he submit, he get on his knees, put his hands behind his back, whatever. They handcuff him, they take him out. So they telling us to go back in the cell, right? They not even finna let us go to breakfast right now. They said, man, everybody rack it up. We like, man, we trying to go to breakfast. So they over there really trying to take these rope things off this fool. But this fool BT, this fool Cloverland had cut strips of sheep and had like twisted or braided this shit together, whatever. So it's like some big ass, like thick, and they got this fool tied up, man. So they had to rack everybody up. They couldn't even get this dude to loose, so they had to rack everybody up and had to call for the infirmary people to come down there with something to cut this shit up off this dude, man. So they finally cut this stuff up off this dude, put that fool on the stretcher and stuff, man. Took that fool to the infirmary. But man, out of 30 years, man, I'm gonna be straight up, out of 30 years, man, like I talked in my one story about the riot that we had been through behind masturbation. I told y'all, I mentioned about Smith Unit, they had the worst riot in the system about a dude, masturbating in the chow hall, but this, man, seeing this dude, man, a grown man, BT, a grown man, that was, pretty much a solid individual, man, get done like that. That was like eye-opening, man, because you see dudes get stabbed, you see dudes get beat up or whatever, man, but that dude embarrassed, that dude humiliated that dude, man. That dude humiliated him. behind disrespecting him, standing in that door and masturbating. And you know, I mean, that the practice of that in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, man, is really out of control, man. It's really out of control, you know. Dudes, I mean, got like partners and stuff that, you know, just mob around the unit, you know, looking, you know, for something, man. And it's almost, to me, in my opinion, it's almost a form of graping a woman, especially when she's screaming and yelling and telling you to stop, and then you don't even stop. You know what I'm saying? You know, to me, that I a lot of times, you know, when you hear about it, I often wonder, like, what is this dude gonna do when he get in the world? Because his mind has got so accustomed to this. What is he gonna do when he actually run into a woman and she tell him no on the physical level? How is he gonna react? You know, it's bad, man. I don't know how other prison systems are, you know, as far as this. I don't know if it go down in other prison systems or not, but I can attest to, man, it's like an epidemic in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, man, you know. And they come down hard on them cases, you know. You could get a fight case and keep your custody, like if you're on minimum custody, but you get a code 20 masturbation case, they gonna handle you, man. They gonna handle you, you know, because they don't want you around them women, because you actually a threat, you know. And and another thing we had found out later, I don't know if y'all familiar with building tenders and turnkeys. Well, building tenders and turnkeys were actually inmates who ran the penitentiary back in like the 80s, you know. They actually ran the penitentiary for the officers, you know, carried the keys and nightsticks and stuff. And that was BT. BT was a turnkey. We didn't find that out until an officer told us, but that's what his initials was, BT. Now, he had been walking around the prison calling himself BT, and everybody assumed that that was his initials. So when, you know, people found out that he was actually a building tender, I mean, we ain't feel that bad for him no more, you know. I mean, you know, because he probably did people a hell of a lot worse than that during his time as a building tender, you know, where he could do what he want to, grape you or whatever, and not even get in trouble for it. You know, he had the authority to do pretty much what he wanted to, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, but I know this story wild in the mug, man, but it's real though, man. That actually happened, man. I seen that with my own two eyes, man, and it really it really messed me up, seeing grown men crying like that and getting whooped like he was a little kid by his mama. But with that being said, man, what's banging?